Michael Beschloss, as an historian, and after all that we have been talking about in the weeks and weeks of protest about the Confederate flag, what is he doing there? Is this just more than a dog whistle? It's a whistle, a shout to a particular part of his base?
It sure is. He's trying to win the election by mobilizing a base that has what are now fringe views compared to the majority of this country about things like the Confederate flag. And that was underscored by what Donald Trump did yesterday. You know, as you've mentioned, most presidents more or less respect the fact that the Rose Garden and the White House, that's sacred space. That's something that belongs to all of us. And most presidents avoid getting too partisan while using those spaces. Instead, we sat through this 50-minute rant yesterday, which included personal attacks on Joe Biden's family and things that are much more suited for a convention hall or a sports arena. That is something different from what we've seen before. Donald Trump yesterday crossed what I think is a very important line. And what would the next step be? Or the next time he does this, are we going to see Trump campaign banners hanging from the White House behind him or MAGA slogans? Are we going to see Trump rallies on the South Lawn? I mean, that's what authoritarians do. They mix the symbols and language of their party and their campaign with the symbols of the state. That's something that we can't allow to happen, especially at a time right now when we see so much widespread physical and economic suffering.
And Michael, when we've talked in the past about a Rose Garden strategy for an incumbent president, it's using the Rose Garden to talk about policies and to take advantage of all of the, the perks that come with being the incumbent. Not to make campaign attacks against your rival.
Yeah, the way that term developed, as you know, Andrea, it particularly gained a lot of steam in the early, in 1972 when Richard Nixon was running for re-election. And they said he's following a Rose Garden strategy by not going out to campaign across the country all that much, instead giving speeches that were largely above politics in the Rose Garden, showing himself as a chief of state, with the idea that the prestige of that would help him win. That's what other presidents have done. We have never seen any display like what we saw yesterday.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.